my group have. If this was an anonymous survey that came out for the special assessment district, how come their tax ID number is in the upper right-hand corner?
So the parcel ID number is so that Public Sector Consultants, the firm, the third-party firm that I work for, so that we can make sure that only one survey is taken per household. That information will not be shared with Four Lakes.
Okay, and so how do we get a fair representation for our other properties if we have multiple properties?
So the decision was made that only one survey will be taken per property. So that's only one survey per household.
You said per property, but you... Okay, so not per property then, it's per household.
Per property owner, household, no matter the number of properties owned.
Okay, and whose decision was that?
It was a collective decision because we're trying to gauge information on get the feedback from the property owners rather than information on the property.
Okay, but being that we're going to be assessed on each one of those individual properties per what we've been told, doesn't that mean that we won't get a fair representation? So like a person that only owns one property will have as much say as somebody that has 20 properties.
Yeah, but the assessment's also based on lake frontage, so it's
No, it's only lake frontage per property. So I don't know who gave you that information, but it's lake frontage. What we were told is lake frontage per property. So if your properties,
what does that mean?
But what if your properties aren't connected? What if your properties aren't connected?
Well, what if you have a property that's double the size with more lake frontage, but it's only one property?
Well, right. That's exactly my point. How can you have this special assessment district? Because it's not proportional. It's illegal if it's not proportional. So that's one of the questions, but we won't be able to answer that because that's not on the survey. Because the surveys, who wrote the questions?
It was a mix of Public Sector Consultants and the Four Lakes Task Force.
So Four Lakes Task Force did have a say in what questions were on the survey?
Yeah.
How much say did they have in that?
I would hesitate to put a number on it. It's not, the survey was written to try and get as much true information as possible about how the residents are feeling.
Well, I can tell you that they're not happy, but that would make my next question, why was Four Lakes Task Force logo on the independent survey, on the cover letter?
It's because they're the body over that, and so we wanted to make sure that that people saw something with Four Lakes logo on it, so they didn't accidentally throw the survey away or something.
Okay. Who?
People don't know who Public Sector Consultants are, you know.
Well, some people don't even know who Four Lakes Task Force is, to be honest with you. Some don't even know who they are. Who mailed the survey?
That was us through a third-party printer. So then there was a delay in the printing, so it went out probably a week and a half later than it should have.
Okay. What was the name of your third-party printer? What was the name of the third-party printer?
Why do you want to know the name of the third-party printer?
Because I need to know the name of the third-party printer based on my 800 members. That was one of their questions. They want to know who did the mailing. So I'm trying to ascertain that information so that if they need to FOIA request somebody, that they know who to FOIA request.
You can't FOIA request a private business, so that...
No, but we can ask for the FOIA through the government office and have them ascertain it through the business for us. So
I'm hesitant to give you the name of the third-party printer just based on your questions so far.
So it's a secret. Okay. So it's a secret.
Not
so
a secret. They're a private business, but I don't know what information.
Well, since they're the ones that mailed out our information, and you don't want to give it. So the next question is why was it sent lowest priority bulk mail with no timestamp from the post office?
It's the cheapest option to make sure for everyone to get the survey.
Do you realize that's an oxymoron statement? Because we have contacted the post office and they have informed us that if you have freshly newly moved or you had a change of address, that is considered junk mail and it will not be forwarded on to the property owner. So because of the way that it was sent, they will not be receiving it if they've newly moved or if they're like on a vacation or bought a resort or become snowbirds. Are you aware of that?
I am not, and I will verify that.
Okay, and will you verify the fact that when you do a survey that is for a special assessment district purpose, that I believe that there's rules that's supposed to be followed, and one of those rules that we've ascertained through our lawyers is that you're supposed to timestamp that through the post office with a validation of mailing. Do you have that?
I will verify that as well.
Okay, so that's one thing I'm gonna ask for from you, since you're working on behalf of the survey for a delegated authority. And can I FOIA you?
No, we're a private business.
You're a private business, but I can contact my lawyer, or I can contact my county commissioners or my prosecuting attorney, and they can ascertain that information?
Potentially, though I don't know why you would. What information?
Because it's part of legal documents.
Surveys were mailed?
It's going to be part of legal documents, that's why. These surveys are becoming part of legal documents. It's a step in a legal process, and that's why there's legal steps that are supposed to be followed by who does the survey. So we're only following up to make sure that our rights are being heard. Next, the questions are loaded, and some of them are actually invalid to some people. So we've been told through other people that have contacted you already that you stated to them that if not all the questions are filled out, then the survey will be considered invalid.
That's not true, and we never communicated that to anyone.
I have 3 people that said that. Okay, so what you're, I want to make sure I get the correct information. So what you're saying then is if we don't want to fill out a question, we do not have to fill out that question. We can void it out, say NA, and our survey will still count.
Yes, correct.
And can we also write in an answer where there's not one answer available?
You can write in answers where there are text lines.
Well, the one question number 10, you ask people to prioritize 2 things, which amounts to, do you want to be cut with 1,000 knives or cut once with with one big knife, is more or less the way that people are seeing this, you know, pick and choose your worst of 2 evils here, but it doesn't give you another option. So it's like none of the above. So yeah.
And there's no write-in for that question.
So in other words, you're telling people you have to follow what we want and only what our narrative and our agenda is, or you have no say.
No, there's a question in there for other people's thoughts and feelings. If someone felt that a third option should have been added to question 10, they can express that there.
Right, but that box is very, very small. So if we want to attach something to that survey, do we have the opportunity to attach to the survey and see attached?
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. And that would be valid?
We'll transcribe that in. Yep,
okay.
We'll transcribe that into the survey results.
I think I've got most of my information now, and I will be passing this along with the members from my Four Lakes Opinion page and Casagam.org. So, Cody, I thank you for your time.
Okay, thank you. Have a good day.
You too. Bye-bye.